bullshit. Seek the knowledge you need to be successful. I'm Nate. I'm the FitFutureMD. I lost 30 pounds in 30 days. Make sure you pick up that free copy of the fitness and nutrition guide in the description below. The owner of Ensorsale.com. Ensorsale is family. Together we can rise up from humble beginnings to inspire others with the messages on our t-shirts. Wear your inspiration today. So when you study highly successful individuals, right, there's a big thing that you notice, and that is investing, right? Almost all highly successful people invest, right? And there's two main avenues of investing, right? There's stock market investing and real estate investing, right? So when you go to study stock market investing, you of course follow the greatest of all time, which is Warren Buffett, right? And you do the same thing in real estate. Well, to do that, you have to already learn the language of real estate, right? And to me, the easiest way to do that is to take the class, right? The realtor class, to become a realtor. Now, just because you take the class doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to become a realtor, but it will help you understand the laws into what you're investing in, right? Because, you know, some of the worst things that can happen is being unknowledgeable of an investment, and you end up in jail because you didn't know what you were doing is illegal, right? Or worse, you knew it was illegal and you did it anyway. You know, that's the, but ignorance is not an excuse of the law, right? So number one, that's the biggest reason that you shouldn't just blindly invest in this stuff, right? So this is why I completely disagree with Dave Ramsey when he talks about get an investor pro and let the investor pro invest you into growth stock mutual funds. Like no, I don't want anyone investing for me, right? You know, unless I own the investment company, right? But even then, I still want to have knowledge of what I'm doing, right? And that means you may not be as diversified, right? Like Warren Buffett does not have a crap ton of companies. Matter of fact, he's only got around 10 different companies, and then he's got his business, right? So you start thinking about, the stock market, right? And when you think about real estate, you think about what area do you know really well, right? And that area is probably the area that you should invest in. And you may know that now is not the time to invest in that area, right? So right now you might not be finding deals in Miami, but you might be finding, if you grew up in Miami, you might be finding deals, right outside of Miami or whatever, you know what I mean? Like places that you knew. So for me, like I grew up in Smithfield, so I might not find any deals in Smithfield, but there may be a deal in Selma, and there may be a deal in Wilson's Mills, that the surrounding areas of where you grew up or where you live, or right. So right now I live in Morehead City. I might not be able to find a deal in Morehead City, but I might find one in Newport, might find one in Havelock, might find one down east, might find one, the Swansboro area. So you just, I don't really know where I was going with that, but, you invest in what you know, right? What you're knowledgeable in, what you have a competitive advantage in, right? So You the only difference between someone that knows more than you and where you're at now is time, right? Time spent learning. So to me, it's always a good idea to learn more about the areas that make you successful, right? Because as a normal person with a normal job, you know, the number one way you're going to be successful is to leverage the money you earn into something else, into other people working, such as the stock market, or into real estate, where other people are working and paying you rent, right? But a lot of people out there, they choose to just let's let the experts do it. Well, I don't know if you've ever watched The Wolf of Wall Street. Matthew McConaughey is at the beginning of that movie, and the chess scene, whatever, and he's basically like, it's all a fugazi, that nobody knows if it's going to go up or going to go down, but the only thing they really care about is their commission, right? And to me, that's what a mutual fund is, right? All they care about is that commission. They get that commission no matter what. If the stock does well, they get their commission. If the stock does bad, they get their commission, right? And I don't find that to be right, so I don't use mutual funds if I can help it, right? Obviously, you can't control what your company's 401k plan invests in, because those are mutual funds. But your own brokerage account, your own real estate, you can control where your money goes, right? Your own Roth IRA, your traditional IRA, all that stuff you can control where your money goes, right? And I want to show you the power of that, right? So, like, you found somebody that's like a beast operator, right? Like an Elon Musk, right? And you find out, so he made PayPal like $150 billion company. I think it was $1 billion company, $150 billion company. And he sold that and he bought this other company called Tesla, right? Well, if you knew this guy was successful before, would you bet on him again? The answer is probably yes, right? So 2012, we're out of the recession. There's still monetary easing, right? They're giving EV credits, whatever. Tesla's sitting there at $12, right? And this is just, a part of investing, right? You invest in the operator. So you may say, I like Grant Cardone, so I'm going to go invest in his fund and let him be the operator because he's really good at it. Or you learn how to do that stuff yourself. You learn from him, right? Or you learn from your experience. There's multiple ways to do that, right? But the key is to be willing to learn. And you don't have to go crazy with it. Like, I've pretty much been obsessing with it. We've been doing 3 or 4 hours a day, for the last couple months, learning as much as we can about real estate. But you don't have to be obsessive with it like that. You could do it 30 minutes a day, read an article here and there, read about a company. Your knowledge is going to compound over time. And that's really like the biggest takeaway from this video is compounding your knowledge over time. Because the biggest problem in the US right now is that people got out of high school and they never learned anything else. Or they learned their one skill they needed for their job and that's it, right? And the way you become successful in life is using leverage, right? And to use leverage, you can't just have knowledge of your own skill set. What you want to have, you want to be as knowledgeable as you can in the skill sets you have. But to leverage other things like real estate, like stocks, you have to educate yourself so that you can invest and use that leverage, right? So that's the big takeaway from here, is that to compound your knowledge over time. If you take 15, even if you only took 10 minutes a day and you read one thing about one company, every day, that knowledge is going to compound over time. Or even if you were looking for another Elon Musk, who's the next Elon Musk, right? Let's find that person and let's invest in their company, right? And they may fail at that company, and that's okay, right? You were going to waste the money on beer and cigarettes anyway, right? That's how I look at all my investing. Now that I stopped drinking and stopped smoking, right? Which is probably why I ended up at 315 pounds, replacing that with food, but I digress on that. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. We're going to find those operators. We're going to leverage the money that we make instead of wasting the money we make. I'm Nate. I'm the FitFutureMD, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.